Hello, everyone. Hello. Welcome to episode 32. I believe it is episode 32. We're going to stop sharing that. How's that? Is that better? Is that better on the sound? Is this better on the sound?
Is this better on the sound?
Oh, a week. Made it through, though, like we usually do. This Pluto thing is really kind of a drag. And it's going to, I guess I was saying earlier to Norma, I guess Pluto is a planet because it's causing a lot of, well, it's the darkness, it's the dark side.
It's about that illusion, about
actually remote viewed that Pluto one time, and that's where we saw volcanoes and we saw dog people and cat people. Or at least I did. It was weird. But yeah, Pluto's playing this big. It's going to be here for 26 years.
Yes, it's just.
So it's gonna. This is a whole new change.
Feels.
Like this feels. Yes. I've got Aries. Or wait, we don't have Is Aries still in Pisces? Moon to Pisces.
Oh gosh, you know what?
You haven't brushed up. You were supposed to have an astrological report ready.
Well, you didn't say beforehand.
Well, we could start with that. So we'll add that. I think I said that we were going to add it before. So we've got 3 in here right now. That's cool. We're coming on. This is the night we're going to come on. It's going to be Thursdays, 7 p.m. Eastern. Will be the Breaking the Spell podcast. And yeah, in this wild world, hopefully we can be a little bit of, give you a little knowledge to let you know, so you can kind of wake up to things and think, we're all tricked.
Right.
We're all tricked. Right. I mean, I can predict things, and I will, and I do feel like it's going to get weird. It's just going to be weird, and we're going to have to just get used to it and just do our own thing within this weirdness. A lot of what's being put out to us is, on a mass scale, is an illusion. So if we understand that it's just an illusion, which can get real, it can get real just to hold up the illusion, the bigger illusion.
Right.
So there will be smaller ones that are real, but illusion as well, distracting you or redirecting your sight or your focus on something that's a distraction. The moon is in Aries. That's a good thing. Aries is very ambitious, very go-getter. Sometimes they can go a little too fast.
Well, and that's where you want to be careful with Pluto, right? Because Pluto can kind of sometimes give you the sensation that everything's hunky-dory when really you're kind of fooling yourself a little bit. Yeah, right?
Speak up a little bit.
With that type of energy.
If you were talking to a crowd, how would you talk right now?
Well,
if without a microphone. No, well, that's kind of loud. But really, project your voice.
I am trying to
get the whole room to feel it.
Anyway, Pluto, much like a Pisces, right? The good side, the bad side. It's great, and it is imaginative, and it is fun, and but it can be also manipulative. And
same with Pisces, with Neptune. Neptune's right similar,
illusions,
similar kind of feeling. Yeah.
Right.
I think Pluto's a little bit more.
Well, it's a little more discreet.
It's a little more rules. Like it's a little more authoritarian.
Yes, it has ways it needs to be done. Yeah. It takes this amount of time to get from here to here. But like I said, that's where it can sometimes kind of fool you.
Yeah. And then you got Aries playing a part right now. We're in Pisces right now. So we've got a lot of illusion that's going to be coming out. You just pay attention to a lot of fake, like what we saw with the balloons last week, or, UFOs or UAPs that they could just automatically just shoot down.
Right.
We're talking, the I don't want to say aliens, but extraterrestrials, interdimensional beings, higher dimensional beings. They're not going to shoot them down.
Right.
Our militaries aren't going to shoot them down. They don't have the capabilities.
Right.
I mean, it would just bounce off of them if they even came close to hitting it. And we've heard you can't even, these fighter pilots or whatever that were, which I think was another kind of psyop, because it was this was old footage from like 8 years ago,
Yeah,
10 years ago.
It's kind of funny.
And they're
how
just
they're
making it a big
reutilizing
news
things.
story
Yeah.
now. It's like, yeah, but you can find that footage from years
Yes.
ago.
Yeah.
And so we're being guided into a certain direction that we probably don't want to be guided into.
Yeah. They're counting on us being somewhat lazy and distracted and
we used to be
occupied to pay attention to what's happening.
Yep, we used to be, but I think we're quickly waking.
Right.
And as long as we just kind of keep our eye on that, like the okay, my best rule of thumb is anything that comes out that's an official story from the government or from the news that we watch, the news models that we watch on TV, because that's what they are. They're news models. Yeah. They don't really deliver any real good news. Some of them do, but they take flack for it if they do. So what I'm saying is our media, about 80% of it is corrupt. Yeah. And that's like even partial stories. That's even online. It's a way they want you to look at it, as opposed to here's what happened, guys. Make up your mind and your own feels about this thing. It's, hey, this thing happened, and this and that and that and that and this. The whole
oh my
thing
goodness,
is
can you believe
really
that?
Funny. Like they had to send up an F-22 to shoot it down. Like, I mean, that's ridiculous.
Yes. They become actors, not
we are living, all the world is a stage, as long as you remember that. There are actual commercials on recruitment, on recruiting you into, or talking, I can't remember the name of it. If I can find the video, maybe I'll share it, but you can't really, you can see it live, I guess, but this is going to go to just listen, audio only, which is basically what it is. But there's an actual commercial from the United States military, from the Army, talking about how they rule. Yeah, like talk about psyops. Like they have to let you know, that way they can continue to do it without what they think is a clear conscience. No, guys, we're not psyoping you. We're learning all about this so that we can not let others psyop us. Yeah. The Chinese space balloon. Like, really, do you want to fight with China? Do you want to fight? Have you ever seen their schooling? Right. Have you ever seen them, like their kids at 3 years old? They're genius. So they've connected or tapped in. They've already taught them to tap into their discipline and tap into their genius with their discipline. So it's just like an everyday thing. You go to school, you learn how to, like, they're all in this circle. I saw this video. They're all, all the kids are in a circle, and I think they're probably like 4 or 5 years old. And they're all bouncing like a bunch of balls in a circle, just staying in that rhythm. Yep. Like a bunch, there's probably 10 balls in there, and there was probably 12 kids in a circle, just bouncing these balls and passing them on. Yep. Every time they bounced them, they passed them on. They're learning the rhythm. They're learning the flow. We as Americans aren't really. We're learning, hey, you want to buy this We're thing, learning, right? Hey, look at my car. It's fucking, it's a Tesla, or it's a Bugatti. You know what I mean? Like it's so expensive. Or look at my house. Look how nice it is. Yeah. And we're really materialistic, and then we look at things. We're like Roger says, we're in that movie Wall-E, where we're up in space, and we're all in these chairs. We don't have to get out of them. Just fully entertained. Everything given to us. Yeah. Don't need to do anything. However, when these things happen, to put this or transmute this into a white pill instead of a black pill. Right. We have to understand the black, though. Like, we have to understand it's actually happening, and not think, oh my gosh, you're just imagining things. No, it's right in front of our face, and it always has been. Right. But I think we were in a slumber for so long, especially in the 80s. That was like total materialism. I think the 60s was like the late 60s was the last of like and into the early 70s. Once we really got into television during the Vietnam War, they figured it out, but they got shut down too. They all ended up getting jobs like you do when you grow up. They became yuppies. So that they traded their hearts, and most of the time it's kids that do make things happen. Yep. And create the movements. Not when I say kids, I mean they're adults. They're just young adults. Yeah. But I haven't seen a real movement since. They did have an anti-war protest. Yes, they did. Rage Against the War Machine. I think that
A couple of speakers did absolutely amazing.
Yeah, there was some good. Yeah, Jimmy Dore was there, and Costa Jardula was there, and a bunch of people that are online content creators. Gerald Salente, he's awesome. Gerald Salente, if you guys haven't heard of him, he's probably, I think he's in his 70s, but he's like a black belt. 70,
that's why he was.
And he's a money guy. He's a trends guy. So he talks about trends and money and a lot of other things. He's really good, really passionate guy.
Yes, very, very passionate.
And they all spoke there. I'm trying to think of who else spoke.
I gotta see all of
Jackson Hinkle, he spoke, I believe. I mean, these are like, they weren't all left. It was like left and right. They were like, okay, none of us want war.
Right.
Yet they keep bringing us into them.
Yep.
And Congress just stays silent because war is money for them.
Yes.
This is where they can make a lot of money. They've overspent a lot of money that's not real money, which has devalued the currency.
Yep.
The only reason that we haven't devalued ourselves in a real way is because we have a military. So that's like when we're out of money, we go to war.
Yep.
That's how wars are started. It's not started by some argument.
No.
It started because one bully wants to take over the other one. And they just take over, and we've pretty much taken over everything.
Like so many.
The Western Alliance, we have taken over. There's a few small pockets.
Yeah.
But this is where we're at. We're in a place where we don't get to make decisions. We don't get to live free, at least under their rule.
Right.
I mean, or under the puppets' rules.
Right.
The government officials that are supposed to be looking out for the people. They're looking out for their checking account. Yeah. Their bank account.
Well,
and they play it's all the world is a stage. I'm going to keep saying that because it really is. And these people through, all over the world, I just heard 100 people control all of us and everything that happens on a big scale. 100 people control 8 billion.
You look at,
I think that's
the history of things, especially our most recent, like 50, 60 years, right? And you see the same players are part of every catastrophe, every rot, every disruptive thing that has happened. You see these same players there. Now, come on, life is not a coincidence. It may be strange that one or two of these characters are playing in a few of these things, but to see multiple of these players or players connected to players played out in every single one of these things that most of us American people are against.
Yep. Yeah, please share this out while we're live, and we are live every Thursday at 7 p.m. So if you want to catch it live, you're hearing our podcast somewhere, go to Facebook or YouTube, Aaron Fowler Psychic Shaman. That's where you'll find the podcast. And we'll be live 7 p.m. I don't want to promise every Thursday because we might have to change that up sometimes.
Right.
But for the most part, that's where that's our schedule for now. And also wanted to let you all know this is a value for value show. So that value for value means time, giving your time, talent, or treasure. Time meaning giving your time to listen, to pay attention to what we're talking about, to share, to add your friends to the comment section, to go to the, even giving us a rating on Spotify or any podcast platform that you do.
That you listen on. Yeah.
You have an account. Yeah. Talent meaning things that you could offer to the show or help grow the show with or develop the show with.
Right.
People that make clips, know how to make clips and share them with us, send them to us, send them to Fowler AR, so FOWLER AR0 at gmail.com. And if you know how to make clips, if you're home a lot, you're bored, learn how to make clips.
Time to do that. Yeah.
Because they do take some time.
They do.
Because you have to listen again and find out the most profound or the best moments, and then take those 1-minute clips or 3-minute clips, so we can share them on TikTok, so we can share them on Instagram and Facebook. And it just helps us. Or if you have artwork, if you have anything, anything you can add to the show with your talent, we appreciate it. And that is becoming part of the show. That is, and then treasure, meaning if you have the dough, Ray me, to send, if you can leave
monetary
monetary donation, meaning any kind of donation, find that link tree. It's in the description. So you should be able to find it. It's linktr.ee/psychic shaman 333. You can leave a donation there. Once you go to that link, have PayPal, Venmo, and Cash App. And this week we did have a donation from Anthony Lewis.
Yes.
So he's the producer of the show. And thank you. And his donation, you left $100, and he said he left a note saying for your adventures. So thank you, Anthony. Much love to you, brother.
Appreciate that.
Big blessings.
Yes.
From at least me and Norma. And sending you love, brother. And much gratitude.
Yes, much.
But yeah, if you'd like to leave a little donation, doesn't matter how much it is, whether it's $5 or $500.
Leave a little note with it.
And leave your note. Yes, if you do leave it like a super chat on YouTube.
That's right.
Leave a note and we'll read it out on the show or the show after this one. The next show coming up.
Right.
We make sure we read out all of the executive producers. And if you have any ideas, you have anything you want, like I said, want to add to the show, let us know. So, where were we?
We were talking about
being lied to.
Yes.
All of our lives.
Yeah.
It's probably been going on for 2,000 years at least. That's how long this dark group has had a hold on everything. And there are people that just all in lockstep work together.
Yes.
Those 100 people, and can make life a lot more uncomfortable.
Right.
And will. Whether they get you emotionally charged from showing you visuals on the TV and sounds and little flashes of red. You'll notice that they always flash red, or the reds of the tape, like the ticker tape that goes across the bottom is always in red. They're trying to get to your most root. They're trying to get to your primal.
Right.
Your primal side.
Trying to get you to act within that.
If you saw purple a lot, they would get you. They don't want you to think. They don't want you to know or feel that connection. They want you to be led. And if we can break any of that down from the things that we've taken in for the last 10 years, we've got into a deep study of a lot of that, and a lot of predictive programming, meaning, they put all these movies out or media out, get you ready for something, and then perform it.
Yes.
Like the zombie movies, it's all playing out the apocalypse.
Yep.
Zombies, you can see plenty of them.
That's what they're trying to bring to us.
You can see plenty of them. They all wear those things on their face diapers. And I don't mean to, right, they're in fear.
Thank you, Christy.
They're in fear. They're trapped.
Yeah.
Some of them are comfortable in that. Just kind of like the guy in the Matrix that says, I know the steak isn't real, but I still want it.
Yeah. I prefer the illusion. I feel more comfortable there.
He said it this morning, but really, I don't want to. I want to live in the Matrix. I don't want to live.
I don't want the reality. Reality sucks.
Yeah. Those are the people that are still under that spell. That are not willing to understand it at a deeper level and realize, yeah, it's working, and not be in denial about it. It's real. We're really being attacked almost on a daily basis. The train derailments,
right?
The fires, these plants going up in smoke. If you can't see it, you're ignoring it by now.
Yep. Well, because you have to be able to see you have to be able to connect the dots with it, right? If you cannot see how incrementally, one instant at a time, they're destroying our air, our water, our soil.
Everything.
They are trying to keep us dependent upon their systems. Yes. And for a lot of people, it's going to be hard to break out of.
Yeah, because they're just kind of giving up. They're like, well, they're wearing that thing on their face because they have, they're self-conscious. You can have a lot of excuses for wearing it.
Yes.
Not even the excuse as to the reason that we're supposed to wear it. Right. But I saw it back then when it first came in. Like, this is a ritual.
Yeah.
None of that stuff's gonna penetrate that. Yeah. Okay, so wear a double one. Okay, it's gonna penetrate that. Okay, so we're a trip.
Oh, well, no, at a club.
Like going totally like savage, like caveman on it.
Uh-huh.
And I don't know why I'm going off on a tangent about that one, but. Oh, thank you, Christy, for the donation. Another executive producer. Did you leave a super chat? I hope so. I'd love to read it out. Now, if I do that, I'm going to go off, so I can't go in and check her. Thank you, Christy. We'll read yours out next time, or let me see. I can do this. I'll get the tablet.
Oh, that's right. You can't get into your thing, huh?
Well, I can't go from here because that's where we're going live from is my phone. So,
will that device get in there?
Yeah, it probably will. I'm pretty sure it will. Thank you for the $30. Christy Lewandowski just left $30, so another executive producer for the show. Thank you, Christy. Blessings to you from Norma and I, the mystic and the shaman. Many good blessings, much love, much positivity. Life is good.
That is. Even when it's tough, you got to remember how good it really is. Because it can get tough to a point we forget to see the good. We forget the magic and the beauty that just is. And that's not a place you want to find yourself either.
Not for too long.
Right?
There's that dark side, but and that depressing side, but go there, but just
appreciate how you're feeling the human experience.
What's let yourself rise sometimes. In life.
But also look at the beauty and the magic and the way the world works around you, and really allow yourself to.
Because understand there is a whole hierarchy of souls that are above us that are helping things too. There are some that are hurting things.
Yeah.
That's why I try to relate it. And maybe it's not that way right now. I'm sure it's not. I'm sure the dynamic has changed, but I try to relate it to like gods and them all having powers to do things and make great changes. Some are good, some are bad. Most good. Some good, but kind of get tricked into things or talked into things.
Well, it's good to be indifferent on a lot of things, right? Not allow yourself to get too emotionally high strung into too much. But the issue with indifference is if you aren't paying attention to your emotions and how you really feel about the things around you, yes, you can easily be manipulated into one thing or another. You gotta, it's really about understanding how you feel about things.
You can actually manipulate. I think the one that manipulates the most is you. Manipulate yourself into being just by denial.
Yes, by not
wanting not willing to acknowledge all truth around you instead of just partly.
Right. And I'm waiting for what Christy was going to say. She said there wasn't a message. I was just going to say, and
leave us a super chat. We want to read it out. Come on, we want you to leave a little bit of yourself and how you feel and why you left it in the first place.
Yeah.
You don't have to. No, but it just makes it more fun. We can read it out on the podcast and let people know, it inspires people. Yeah. It inspires others.
Yes. But anyway, yes, it really is being able to find the magic in yourself and really truly, truly appreciating who and what you are. Knowing that all the magic that you need, all the help, all these, everything resides within. And sometimes we need outer peoples for certain things, but knowing within you that you have the capacity to find that person, it will happen, right? I need someone that can help me with in this area of my life. And then knowing that you're holding within you everything you need. So that right person shows up, right? It's a fine line. It's like small hallway. It's balance.
And that's how life works anyway. If you keep walking your path and even when you're just sitting on it and you're not doing anything, for some reason the universe always seems to work things out. Always.
Yeah. And when you feel like it's disappeared, that means that you've caved to an emotion. You have to truly have faith in yourself and know that it never disappears. It is our thought processes and our attitude about things that kind of present us with roadblocks.
And because we can be going along perfectly, or for the most part, things are going good. Okay, I'm on top of it. And then something happens.
Right.
And changes it.
Yes.
And that's that change that, sometimes can be really scary.
Yes.
But we have to flow in that moment with where we're at, but also understand that we do have that magic.
Yes.
But we are in bodies. Yes. Like we are in human bodies.
Yep.
And they are very resilient.
Yes.
But also do break down over time.
Right.
Right. No matter what. Doesn't matter. Exactly. Doesn't matter. Some faster than others.
To ultimately not be in this life anymore. We're born to die.
You still have that magic. Remember, live from your soul, not from your human. And that's
right.
Easier said than done, of course. But that's the key.
Yeah.
When at times when you really don't want, when you're feeling so traumatized that you don't want to look at anything.
Or you can't, or it's just too hard.
Yeah, or you're just in a dark place like, fuck it.
Yeah.
Which those fuck it moments are good. They're good.
They can be. They can be big growth moments.
But eventually you need to come up with a plan to where am I at right now? Mm-hmm. What am I doing? Right. This is my density.
But really, it is my density.
I need density.
It is. You are human right now. No.
But
I know you're trying to say density, but it is your density.
It kind of is in a way. Yeah.
How heavy are you carrying this human? Yeah. How much weight are you putting on it? Are you walking in that balance throughout that hallway, utilizing the energy properly throughout the human? Or are you so stuck in one spot that there's too much energy built up there that it's becoming an issue?
Yeah.
Let's see. That's natural. It's how life works. We all will find ourselves in these things, but it really is. Even when you don't believe it, it is important to remind yourself that you're magic every day. And then allow yourself to see the small things that you've done to prove it to yourself.
You don't think that we appreciate, well, I can't understand it, the things you're going through. I can't completely connect to that. I don't know. I'm not going through that.
Right.
I can give solace. I can give love.
Yeah.
I can give support, but that's pretty much, I don't know what else I can do.
Right.
Like I do understand.
Yeah.
I do understand to the extent that I can understand.
Right. Exactly.
I don't completely understand as far as being in someone else's shoes. No.
Right. But I have been in very difficult positions that I had to make choices. And some of those choices I look back on and they caused me more problems.
Yeah.
And I have to understand that it was my choice that created that. And then there's other ones that are simply just there because they've been there forever and a day. But it really is how I look at it.
Yeah,
I mean, I tend to it.
I can't understand people that are born deformed or without an arm or without, born conjoined twins. I mean, these anomalies, these things just happen.
Right.
And it is part of our destiny.
It is.
I'm not laughing it off in any way.
No, we are not.
I have total respect for what you're going through and support, give you support.
Yes. But
I can't, like I've said before, I can heal, but I can't snap my fingers and it all be good.
Right.
Nobody can do that.
Right.
Maybe God, maybe the creator.
But it's that connection.
But it is. It's connecting to that and knowing that wherever you're at in life, and life carries on after this, wherever you're at in life, you're going to deal with things that are uncomfortable, that are painful, suffering.
Yeah.
It's part of it. If you have happiness and joy, you're going to have pain and sorrow.
Right.
It's the balance of things.
Which is why I say it's finding that balance. It's walking that fine line, knowing when to draw from those experiences that were lower, that were maybe not so great, but you learned something profound. And knowing when to reach up to the light and go, you know what, this worked, but I don't think I need to work it quite that way either.
Yep.
And walking in that balance of things are.
And I'm telling you what, when I had
now.
teenagers, I didn't know what to do.
Right.
I really didn't. I was lost. I was like, whoa, this isn't working. This isn't working. This
Right.
isn't working. And I was still very spiritual. I was still giving readings then.
Mhm.
I was playing music then. But no matter what I did, it just didn't work because I'm dealing with other people.
Yeah.
And their decisions.
Yeah.
Yet taking care of them and trying to get through the craziness.
And unfortunately, we probably didn't draw the finest line in your decisions that you are doing are going to have consequences that you're going to have
that
to
was
deal
a pretty
with.
fine line.
I know. What I'm saying though is sometimes I think they try to cross them frequently.
Oh, a lot.
You know, and I sometimes think that had we been able to find a different way to communicate that,
it was
the
worst
time
of parenting my kids.
It was hard. And we were.
And I'm going to be honest, like, I'm not saying I wanted to be a dad. I wanted to have a girl and a boy, and I had that. That's what I had, was a girl and a boy. They ended up being way more rebellious than I am. And they had help. They had people that were, what's the word? Influencing or just allowing them to be crazy and do crazy shit.
Yeah.
Without any consequences. So it ended up really, when you end up with like a narcissistic kind of behavior.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying my kids are narcissistic. They're not. But half of their life was grown up with
a close narcissist.
Kind of really, and I'm not talking shit about anybody. That's the way they knew best.
Mm-hmm.
But it did become a problem when they got to be teenagers, which I called out when Alex, my son, was first or about to be born, or just after he was born. Yeah. They had too much freedom and they abused it.
Yeah.
I wanted them to experience things, but they kind of let that twist to where, oh, well, I can just experience whatever I want to.
See, and
not thinking about the other people they're hurting. And
right. And for my kids, I think I overdawdled. I overparented. I
hovered. You did that helicopter
I wanted them to feel bad. I didn't always have the answer for them. Which
like I'm going to tell you, no matter which way you do it, like there's always going to be anomalies and shit that happens. Right. Even if you have the best kid, like a lot of people that are like that have one child or the only child, that usually works out.
Yeah.
I mean, for the most part. Right. When you have like 4 or 5 of them and they're all competing and they're going through these phases in life, it's a little difficult. I wouldn't trade it though. No. I mean, I wouldn't trade it. I think I learned a lot from it. I gained a lot of gray hair from that shit. I earned those gray hairs.
Yeah. Yeah, and it is hard to hold your grace in those moments of stress when you just don't know. Dude, I still get too loud with my dogs sometimes. I fully understand that if I want them to be calm, I need to be calm, but I allow that stress level to bring me up here, which is not going to make them calm. Right. Yep. And so it's really about truly understanding yourself, how you work, what you're allowing to get to you, where you can kind of ease up on certain feelings, where you can like let go of certain stuff, and where you need to stand firm. It is a process, and it's something that we go through from the day we're born to the day we die.
I'm gonna I'm gonna invite or send out the link if anybody wants to join us. We only have 3 watching right now, but that's all right.
That is all right. You listen to it.
Yep, this will go out into podcast land. After this, it'll be distributed in a lot of different, I don't know, 20, 30 different places. So I just shared the link if anybody'd like to join and talk for a minute. We're going to probably end this here the next 15 minutes.
And
or
hopefully
maybe right here soon, if nobody jumps in, we'll probably get out a little early. What were you gonna say?
I'm saying
And
hopefully we
hopefully.
shared something that was helpful and useful, and
Yes.
you know, I know that it's a lot easier said than it is done, because I still struggle with a lot of things that I know better on. The more calm I can keep myself, the calmer my world is around me, and yet I will still allow myself to get all frazzled and just, oh my gosh. And you know, it doesn't do me any good. It leaves me feeling all uptight and tense and frustrated for things that, had I chosen to take a breath and let go and just understand, probably wouldn't have gone through as much frustration and intensity as I did. But it's something that I am still working on and learning how to control within myself.
Parenting does blow sometimes.
It does.
I've had to miss two really good parties, after parties, because I had to get home because I have my kids. I'm like, what are they doing right now?
Right.
So we'd go play a show. We'd play like a 3-hour set, 4-hour set. Then we'd meet other musicians, and sometimes we'd run into people that actually knew some,
Right.
musicians that were, yeah.
Yep.
And
we had teenagers at home.
I had to turn them down both times because I had all the kids at home. They weren't at their mom's. They were here with us, staying in that big, what was it, like a 7-bedroom home in Ogden?
Yeah.
That was a big house.
It was old. A big house. It was old, but you know what? It was cool. It housed us all. We got to
record some music in there, which sounded good. But yeah, I always remember, like, as soon as I was done, I'm like, okay, let's get paid. Let's get out of here. I got to get home.
Yep. We got some unruly happening.
I know how these kids are.
Right. As much as we'd like to trust them, we don't.
All right. Well, if anybody would like a reading, please go to my website, www.psychicshaman333.com. And if they want to find you for marriages or weddings.
For weddings.
She is a wedding officiant. Or what did you call it now? There's something new.
A civil celebrant.
A civil celebrant.
Yes, because whatever you're celebrating. Now, the civil is in there because I can make it official, should you choose to go through the state for any.
And I can marry as well, just to let you know.
But the celebrant is the party, right? The celebration that you're looking for, whether it's a legal one or something you just like to do.
Yeah, and like exchanging of vows, which isn't right. You're not signing papers. You're
just having an experience with your significant other that is a magical moment and is yours. And and then I also, I do hypnosis sessions and etc. But I don't focus on those too much. So because seriously,
she does do like breathing meditations and hypnosis sessions. So if you're interested, where do they get a hold of you?
Unfortunately, right now, I'm just at Facebook, Mystic Norms, or Yahoo or Google, Mystic Norms.
I need to work on that portfolio there.
I am really trying, babe. I'm trying to get all my sites connected together. Mystic Norms, that's what I say. Just Google Mystic Norms with a Z and RMZ, and you'll find me. Right on.
Well, thank you, everybody, for sticking around, being here. Hope you enjoyed the show. We'll be back next week, Thursday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Much love to all of you. Thank you, Christy. Thank you, Anthony.
Yes.
You've both been a great help. And trust me,
and we
need the money right now. We've got big bills to pay right now. Wow. I just figured out how much it's going to cost to register my truck. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
$500 and something. And where it was like, it was like 80. Or 120
it was like a little over $100.
Yeah, in Utah. So I might have to register in Utah again.
We might have to take like a 12-hour trip just to go get a fucking
thing. I'm not taking a 12-hour trip, but it might be cheaper.
Like seriously. Holy cow.
Anyway, enjoy this Pisces season. Enjoy the Aries moon right now.
We love you all.
We love you all. We'll see you soon.